Good evening. Welcome to Bedtime Stories, where I read books chapter by chapter and then I give my commentary of that chapter each week here on Bedtime Stories. Well, today we'll be starting A Savage and His Lady by Kiana Hawks. No S at the end, Holt. Okay. This book is starting out pretty good. It's starting out slow, but I like the fact that the author is starting to flesh out. We start to know where these characters are and how they're going to narrate it. But before we get into A Savage and His Lady, we got to get into the bedtime cocktail. Yes. So this one is going to be I'm going to call it my Caribbean mix. We'll come up with a name at the end of the cocktail that I create. So the spirit we're going to be using is continuing to sip on and use Hearts and Sons rum, 1804, original 1804 rum. Okay, as I use for the New Year's Eve bedtime cocktail where we made a buttery rum with it. But tonight we're going to make whatever concoction that we're going to do it. I know it's going to have an island feel to it. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so what we want to start off with is a shaker. Okay, I realized I said tonight I want to shake it up. Oh, so the top is glued on. There we go. It just had a really good seal. That's something to say. I'm like, okay, I see you. Okay. So I'm going to use the cap of the cobble shaker as a shot. So I'm going to do 2 shots of Hearts and Sun. All right. Put this over to the side. And we're going to add, I got some pineapple mango lemonade juice from lemonade from Wendy's today earlier for my lunch. So I decided I'm going to use this as my sweetener. So sweetener and my bitter. Okay, so and I have it in this handy dandy morning chat mug. Soon to be available on my Springs account. So I'm going to pour in I'm going to do 2-3 shots of this lemonade. 4. Okay. Don't play with me. And I am going to shake it up like a Polaroid picture. Shake it. Oh, okay. So that was a dry shake. That wasn't my intention, by the way. I meant to add ice that I have in my according to AKARA glass to be reintroduced on my Springs account. Now we're going to put the top on and shake it like a Polaroid picture until it gets cold. That's why I like the metal shakers, once it gets cold to the touch, it's been mixed very well. So we're going to put this in this glass. I'm going to use a wine glass tonight. Okay. You know what? Everything is going to be Jamaican until I go. But the Spirit told me, call it Caribbean Nights. But that's not finished. We're not finished. But wait, it gets better. We're going to add some blue carousel in it to give it that give it that island vibe. Ooh, I like it. I like it. I really, really like it. I'm for it. Adore it. Okay. Caribbean Nights. But in my mind, it's going to be Jamaican Nights. So this is Caribbean Nights. And I'm going to garnish it with cherries. Now, what I really like to garnish it with, next time, I would love to have like a skewer, a little, or a toothpick, and have pineapple and cherries on it. But tonight, we just have, I'm trying to say, do I have a toothpick? I don't have a toothpick. We're just going to drop this cherry in there. Boom. Caribbean Nights. Let's see how it tastes. Heck yeah. I came up with a good one. Caribbean Nights. If there's a drink out there called that, this is Auntie's Caribbean Nights. All right. Let's get into a savage and his lady. Now, let me tell you a little bit. Before I get into it, I already realized in this book, the author is doing, this is going to be a story of love triangles. Okay. There's two main characters here in this book so far from the first chapter. And it is Kyra and De Niro. Okay. And I hope I'm saying the characters' names correct. And these are two people that grew up together, literally grew up together. They were almost destined based off the relationship so far from chapter 1, that they grew up together. They had a lot of their firsts together, but they're not together. Okay? But they're in love with one another, but neither one of them is telling them. Kind of like the last book that I read. Again, it's like people aren't talking, but they like each other too. And the savage is surely not De Niro. It's surely not De Niro. Okay? So it's going to be love triangles. And the difference this time that I feel, this is the first time that I have a book, that I've read a book so far in the bedtime stories where it's being told by two main characters are narrating this book. Kyra and De Niro. So I'm just saying, look out for this. So let's get into the first chapter. and my commentary on it. So I just want to say that. So it starts off with Kyra narrating the story, and she's flipping through her a photo book. Young people, if we have some young people that don't know what that is, it's an actual book of photos that we've printed out and we put in a book. Anyway, and she's seeing old pictures of her and Kyra and De Niro in there that their parents took of them on their first day at school, middle school, and all this stuff. And she's just chuckling and laughing at the pictures. And she's reminiscing on how they first met, her and De Niro, and how inseparable they were. She talks about how she lost her virginity to De Niro, her friend. Like they lost their virginity. Like when I said they had a lot of firsts together, like their virginity they gave to each other. And they just figured, hey, I know it wasn't a love thing, or at least that's not what they were telling themselves. It's a comfort thing, and so they'd rather do it with someone who they're comfortable with and has been best friends with. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, they never really stopped doing it. They still kind of messed around still every now and again because they love each other, but they're not willing to admit it to the other. Why? I don't know. But they have a friendship type of relationship, Kyra and De Niro. And she's just like we're friends. And, if he's with someone, it's okay. And if she's with someone, it's okay. At least that's what they are fronting. Okay, they're fronting this stuff. But she's reminiscing, losing her virginity, going to school, all the firsts that they go through as she's going through these pictures in the book. And then she remembered, like I love De Niro, but it was all thrown out the door when I met Nitro. Now think about that. Nitro is a typical ninja name. Okay? That is a typical ninja name, my dudes and dudettes. You know what I'm saying? When you hear Nitro, do you hear an upstanding citizen that's going to school for engineering or even football? At first I'm thinking maybe she meets Nitro, who I'm going to predict is the savage at this point. Maybe she meets him on the campus of TSU, Tennessee State University. It is an HBCU, so this is a black book. You know this is a black author because TSU is an HBCU. But she meets Nitro. Like I said, that doesn't sound like a everyday citizen type of name. At best, it is an artistic name for if he's a comic or something like that, but that don't sound very comical to me. So you already know what it is. I mean, you know what type of books I like. So this is an urban drama. So Nitro is clearly a drug dealer. Now, she meets someone on the campus of TSU, first year there, and he's looking good, but she doesn't, she makes eye contact with him, and he comes, he shoots his shot, he runs her down, shoots his shot, you know what I'm saying? And, so she gives him the number, he calls, and they just all of a sudden have a relationship. Now, De Niro, when I say they're best friends, I'm saying they're best friends. This dude doesn't go to school, but he picks her up, takes her everywhere. They already have like a husband and wife relationship. Why they just don't jump the broom and just do it? Because they are pretty much already husband and wife so far. From the first chapter, I gather it already. So she goes on and describes how she met Nitro and how she tells, furthering the fact that De Niro is a friend. He's picking her up from school. I mean, like they do, he takes her to the store when she needs to go to the store. He is her best friend, which is her husband. Anyway, child. So she goes on talking about how she met Nitro and she, De Niro had picking her up from school, taking her home. She gets in the car, pecks him on the cheek, say, "Hey," he says, "So how's your day, ugly?" I guess, that's how friends do each other. I call my friend, heifer, and she calls me a heifer too, He said, she said, "It was good. I met a guy." And he was like, really? Who's this guy? And she said she could tell that he was upset about it, but not trying to feel any type of way. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but that's the type of relationship they have. They kind of be hating, but they don't throw salt on anybody's game in the whole situation, but they be hating. And so it's like, oh yeah, he said, "Who's this ninja's name?" Okay. By the way, we could tell this is a black author because there's a lot of N-words going on in here. And I love it. Okay. I can read it. I like it. I enjoy it, but I can't say it as much as possible, because I think TikTok got me. And I'm not doing this on TikTok, but I'm just saying. And he said, "What's this ninja's name?" He's like, his name is Nitro. And at the time that she was talking about him, Nitro was texting her because he said, "I'm going to hit you up later." And he hit her up. And it's like, okay. And he says, "Nitro? Really? Of all the men that you could meet, Key," he calls her Kai, or Key, Kyra. It's with a what? Kyra. Okay, hey Kai. Of all the guys that you could meet in all of the campus, you would meet the most wretched, the most savage little nigga, the most grimy dude in all the hood. He's like, I guess so. It's whatever. So he's throwing a little hate in the game by saying, like, really, this dude? Okay. He really didn't like her just because it was another man. But he now really isn't really feeling Nitro because he knows who this guy is. That he is a street pharmacist, and his pharmaceuticals be getting people hooked. Okay, so he don't really like Nitro off the break just because it's another man in her life. But to double down on it that he is a street pharmacist, this ain't gonna be cool. So he's like, whatever. He good to me, so they go on, ha ha ha, they joke, and he gets her home. So there's another, I want to make sure I'm, okay, I want to make sure I'm not saying putting stuff into it. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. Look, So move on. Next scene, next day. Kiara is at home and her mom. Oh, so after she reminisced about how she met and how De Niro didn't like Nitro, her mom was like, Kiara, De Niro's been downstairs waiting on you. Okay. Can you come? I mean, come on now. And she's like, oh, God. So she stands up. She closed the photo book and she stands in front of the mirror, make sure she's looking good. She looking good. Okay. So she's like, okay. And her mom's like, come on. He's been down waiting for you to go to the store. I don't know why. You know, she's like, you always trying to make sure you look good whenever he comes around. I don't know why you don't just tell him how you feel. He said, Ma, come on. He's just a friend. I mean, I don't think. You said, y'all might switch us, but she said, little does she know, we not already did to do. We still be messing around. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever. I know y'all think that we just friends, but we've been tickling the ivories, okay? If you know what I mean. So, she finally goes downstairs, and she says as soon as she sees De Niro, ooh, all I can say, don't go chasing waterfalls. Child, matter of fact, I would say, I don't know the words to your girl, Cardi B's WAP, but you know, soon as she saw him, and he's casual. It's nothing. He ain't wearing nothing special. And neither is she. They just run into the store real quick. But as soon as she laid eyes on De Niro, whoo. Okay, you know what? I know the perfect song. Thank you, Spirit. Love come down and it moisturized her panties. So she had feelings for him big time. Okay? Her body's calling for her and her heart. But whatever. I'm seeing where this author's going to go with this. And so they get in the car, you know, she's fine, you know, all right, let's go. So whatever, they talking. And they're on their way to the store, to the store for her. And so they're talking, whatever, la la la, and then his phone rings. And you know, she's bestie. You know what it was giving me? The vibes that this chapter is giving me, it just came to me. I'm sorry, side note. Love and basketball. That's what is giving me, love and basketball. Okay. Love and basketball. They've been loving each other since elementary school. Okay. But they also allowing each other to explore their paths. Okay. I wonder if it's going to be her, the one that's like, I play you for my heart. Anyway. So she goes in, you know, so she snatches this phone like, oh, who's this? Who's this? And she looks at her, ooh, who's Tori? Who's Tori? And he's like, give me my phone. He snatches the phone with her. She's a friend. Okay, she's just a friend. It's like, So she's playing like she's like, okay, so you got somebody too. You sitting there not talking to, you don't like me being with somebody, but look at you. I see you got some little kickity on the side. Okay? And lightweight, she's like, lightweight. I'm lightweight jealous. Who is this heifer? Who's this heifer called Tori? Okay? Who is this heifer calling my bestie? Who is she? So She's lightweight jealous, and he's lightweight jealous of. She's lightweight jealous of this new chick in his life, and he is heavyweight concerned about Nitro and jealous of Nitro. You know what I'm saying? So, when it comes to Kyra. So whatever. So it's like whatever. It's like whatever. So they arrive at the store. I'm assuming it's a Walmart. In my mind, when I read it, it was a Walmart. If the author did not specify that it was a Walmart. And it's like, little does he know what she's going to the store for. And what I liked about this author, she said she did not mention what it was until as late as possible. So she said she's going to the store to get something. Now, I already knew from the clues when I read that she was going to get something. I knew what it is. Okay? And I'm going to tell you. No, you'll find out when you read the book. Okay, so she's going there to get something that is going. She's going to find out if she's really, her life is about to change. What she's about to go to the store for. Now, I am going to say what it is she's going. Kyra is going to the store for. That she has her future husband. For now on. De Niro is Kyra's future husband. That's if Nitro would let her go. Because this is a savage and his lady. Now, it'd be so awesome if this author flips it. But let's keep going on with the story. So, she gets to the store. He pulls up, he parks. De Niro parks. She goes for the handle to get out the car. She said, "You coming in?" He's like, "Nah, I got something to do," which is basically called Tori back. Okay? And so she's like, okay. So she goes in the store, and what is she looking for? And I love it. Even the author didn't even tell you what she got. She said they went to the aisle, she looked at a couple of boxes, she got 2, and then she left out the store. Okay, she still doesn't tell you what she got. She goes back home, and it's like, but in the whole mind, said you got Kyra saying, what's really good with this chick calling my man, De Niro, not Nitro. I don't think she cares about him. Okay. She cares about as far as Nitro is concerned, she's a gold digger. Way over town. That digs on him. He gives a money. She's a gold digger. I'm in need. Okay? Yes. That's the theme song. Gold digger. Way over town. That digs on me. Okay, that's the only reason she's with Nitro. The one thing that she does, as much as she loves De Niro, he doesn't have any ambition. He's happy working at Wendy's. He's not going to school to better his life. He's able to live at home, I'm assuming, or maybe he ain't making, look, I don't care, nowhere in USA are you making enough at Wendy's to pay for a home of your own. So he's definitely probably living with his parents. Okay. All the family want them to get together. But De Niro, I get it. As a Capricorn child, it sounds like Kyra is a Capricorn all day. Because she's like, I got needs that I love De Niro, but his lack of ambition is a turnoff. Like I know as much as I love him, I know that we're not compatible because I'm ambitious and I want to better myself. That's why she's going to school at TSU. So that part. So they're going, she gets there and they get home. So she goes, and now the author reveals what she bought at the store was a pregnancy test. I knew from the context clues in before. I mean, like, I knew it. She's going to get a pregnancy test. Now, it's not clear if it's Nitro's or De Niro's. Okay. Until the end, towards the end of the chapter, when she's like, oh my God, because she didn't tell De Niro what she went to the store for. Okay. And he didn't ask. He kind of lightweight asked, and she kind of like, I'm just getting some stuff. I don't want to tell him. Oh, no. It wasn't that what he asked. He didn't ask. He asked her what was she going to do later. Once he dropped her back home, which is probably next door to his house. So, I mean, not his house, but his mama's house, where he was staying. So what you going to do for the rest of the night? What she was going to do is go and take a pregnancy test. But she didn't feel comfortable telling him that. Her best friend. Which, if you're an investigator, you take the clues as it is. We can know. But, so she goes in, she lies and says, I think I'm going to chill. No, she's not. She's going home to take that pregnancy test to see if her life is about to change forever. She takes the pregnancy test. And she finds out. Now, what I could do is leave y'all asses hanging right here. And tell you to go and buy the book. And find out what it is. But, because I'm going to be reading the whole book, spoiler alert, if you don't get the book, she finds out she's pregnant. But do you think she calls her best friend De Niro to cry, I'm pregnant by Nitro? No, my dudes and dudettes, she does not. She calls his sister and cries, Nene. I think she's, what's her sister's name? Denise. But she calls her Nene. She cries and says, yes, bitch, what's up? Okay, I mean, trust me. My son's father, I was Kyra at some point. When I had my son, yeah. The baby sister was the one who knew first. Me and her was friends. And I told her first. She was the first one. I lied to everybody else. She was the first one that I admitted, yes, I'm pregnant. And she's like, I'm pregnant. She's like, oh, what am I going to do? Well, you're going to have to tell my brother. I don't know. I'm not ready. She's kind of like not ready to tell him yet. Well, she's like, what am I going to do? He said, I know you have to tell my brother. I said, it's like Denise didn't feel no type of way. Just like, you're going to tell my brother? I know it's my brother's child. She said, yeah, it is. It couldn't be Nitro's because she hadn't had sex with him but one time, and that was a couple of days ago. So she's like, she has been a whole month. She missed her period for a whole month. She admits in the book, Kyra. Okay? She admits that she's been off her period. So that means she could be 6 weeks, 7 weeks, maybe even 8 weeks pregnant. Maybe 8 weeks. Her period didn't come on time. It's been a month late. She could be at the very latest 7 months pregnant. 6 to 7 months pregnant. I mean, not 7 months. 6 to 7 weeks pregnant. With De Niro's child. But she's fucking with Nitro. Who's a grimy drug dealer. I'm sorry, street pharmaceutical, not a drug dealer. He doesn't sell drugs like that. Street pharmaceuticals. Oh, pharmaceuticalist. That sounded like some backward bumpkin auntie, right? A pharmacist, a street pharmacist. He's a street pharmacist. How you gonna feel if he finds out that his woman, his lady, is pregnant by her best friend? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That one and Brown Sugar. It's kind of mixed. Both of those movies had oh, why I see her face right here in my face, and why I can't remember the actress name. Ah, well, moving on. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Both Brown Sugar, because this is also a factor of a friend who they're in love with one another, but they're not willing to admit it. The same type of story as Love and Basketball. I keep wanting to say Nia Long, but it's not her. It is Anyway, moving on. You know who I'm talking about. If you're into black cinema. And so now she has to figure out how she's going to tell De Niro that she's pregnant with his son, with his child. I said son, but pregnant with his child. What is she going to do? How is she going to do this? How? You know what I'm saying? While she's dating. And she's also going to have to tell Nitro at some point. So the scene ends with her deciding, look, let me sleep on it and figure out how I'm going to tell De Niro the situation. So it ends there. And then in comes narration from De Niro. Yes. And De Niro comes in and he talks about how much he does love her. Does love Kyra. And he knows that she loves him, but, it's like they have this unwritten rule that we're not going to throw salt in the game, but he doesn't like Nitro because he's dating his woman in his heart, his twin flame, he don't like him for that, number one. But number two, for him being a street pharmacist, he really don't like that, because he's in love with Kyra. And he knows that Kyra feels the same way about him because she told his baby sister Denise. And Denise apparently got loose lips and was telling him, like, she be liking you, man. You should shoot your shot. I'm telling you. She might agree, but he also knows because of his baby sister that she doesn't like the fact that he has no ambition to be more than what he is. You would think if his sister told him, it's like, oh, that's the only thing. Look, he said what she doesn't know is I am next in line to take over the family pharmaceutical business. So what? Wait a minute, pause. Scratch. Okay, I don't have. No, I don't. I was trying to see if I had that sound. Scratch. That it just scratch. You just have the scratch of the record. That when he says that he's the heir to the throne of the family cartel business. What I'm assuming Kyra has no idea, nor her mother, when she befriended the neighbor, that she was befriending a family of street pharmaceuticalists. I know that's not a word. Pharmacists. Okay? And that De Niro, the reason why he ain't really trying to do nothing is because he already know what his future is. He about to run this town tonight. Remember that song with Rihanna? Side note, Rihanna and Jay-Z and them, we're going to run this town tonight. Okay, I was about, everything is Beyonce. We going to run, I said, but run this town tonight, yeah. What she don't know is he's the next up. And more likely than not, Nitro's going to have to report to him to get his stuff. So that's the reason why De Niro isn't really going to school. He's happy working at Wendy's because he's next up to run the family business. He's just staying home until cousin steps down. But he knows how Kyra feels. He said, wait. She just tell her to wait until I start running the business. Now, the problem is, so that's where we kind of end with De Niro knowing and giving his side of the story of being in love with Kyra, knowing that she loves him, and knowing the reason why she isn't with him and is with Nitro is because of what they can offer, what he can offer. Kyra's a gold digger, and nothing wrong with it, girl. Okay? She knows what she wants, and she knows that as much as I love De Niro, he's not going to be, from what I see and know. I'm sorry, something just came to my mind, but I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I have to learn how to practice silence. Silence. Okay. So he isn't there with knowing that she likes him and he likes her, and he's just waiting for that opportune time. Now, as your neighborhood favorite auntie is going to do, as we get to the questions, he's kind of sure that he's going to be the one next up. Now, from the past books that we've read, there's some that all swore that they're going to be the next one in line, and people started dropping, and they weren't the ones picked. What do we know? How do we know for sure that this is that he's going to be the one, De Niro is going to be the one next up? What makes him so sure? Does he know that his cousin is about to, because I think his cousin or someone is running the business right now. Does he know, does he got some word to know that he's about to not be running the business? You know what I'm saying? Is he getting any training? Is he in the business and he's just really good at covering it up? With side note, those who know how to maintain a humble life after becoming someone who makes a lot of money are usually the last ones to get found out. Okay? Just saying. Maybe he's been making money and Wendy's was just a front. So the questions are for the next chapter is, 1, are we going to find out why does De Niro seem so sure that he's next up to run the business? 2, what is De Niro going to say when he finds out that Kyra's pregnant? Hell, even more so, what is Nitro going to say? He's already suspicious of their relationship. Only to find out she's pregnant by De Niro? Is she gonna dodge a baby bullet of a street pharmaceutical to strap herself to the big dog when she finds out. And is De Niro going to be okay with that? You know, if she's like, oh, I didn't know you were going to be that. Okay, then me and you might have a chance. You know, is she going to be like that? What's going to happen? We're going to find out on chapter 2 of A Savage and His Lady. I will see you all next time on the Bedtime Story. Bye.